Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Public Service Commission of South Carolina. Sorry for the delay. We're having technical difficulties. We will be back on the record at 2:20. Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Public Service Commission of South Carolina. We're here for our weekly business meeting. Before we get started, please join me for a brief moment of silence. All right, thank you very much. Present here in the hearing room, we have Commissioners Belzer, Powers, Caston, and Jay Williams. Joining us virtually, we have Commissioners Irvin, Thomas, and C. Williams. Attorney Butler, if you would, please read the agenda.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, other members of the commission. First order of business would be to set the next commission business meeting. Staff would recommend that the next meeting be set for December 1st at 11 a.m.
All right, so the next regular business meeting is scheduled for December 1st at 11 a.m.
Yes, sir.
I think someone has a hot mic, just in case you want to check your microphones out there. Attorney Butler also wants to instruct the staff to schedule a special business meeting Thursday, November 18th at 9:30 a.m. And there we will take up a letter filed on November 10th, 2021 by the Office of Regulatory Staff in docket number 2021-349E. It's the Office of Regulatory Staff's request to adjust the procedural schedule proposed by Duke in that docket and any other matters that come up, Attorney Butler.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir. If you could call our attention to the first agenda item.
Yes, sir. The first item is in docket number 2002-149C, and we have an amendment to an interconnection agreement between Level 3 LLC and Frontier Communications.
All right, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, this is Commissioner Thomas.
Commissioner Thomas, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you. I move that the commission approve the amendment to the interconnection agreement between Level 3 LLC and Frontier Communications of the Carolinas LLC.
All right, thank you, sir. Hearing Commissioner Thomas's motion, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote, starting with District 1, Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Item number 2 is in docket number 2012-326C, and this is an additional amendment to an interconnection agreement between Frontier Communications of the Carolinas, Inc. and Level 3 Telecom.
Okay, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Thomas, you have the floor, sir.
thank you. I move that the commission approve the amendment to the interconnection agreement between Frontier Communications of the Carolinas Incorporated and Level 3 Telecom.
Hearing Commissioner Thomas's motion, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote, starting with District 1, Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Item number 3 is in docket number 2021-23C. And before the commission today are requested changes to the ETC designated service areas filed on behalf of Charter FiberLink, SCCCO LLC, and Time Warner Cable Information Services, South Carolina.
All right. Thank you, Attorney Butler. Is there a motion on this item?
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Powers, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move the commission approve the requested changes to ETC designated service areas filed on behalf of Charter FiberLink, South Carolina CCO LLC, and Time Warner Cable Information Services, South Carolina.
All right. Hearing Commissioner Powers' motion, is there any discussion? All right, hearing none, we'll vote, starting with District 1. Commissioner
vote aye.
Williams. Commissioner Williams votes aye. Is that right, Commissioner Williams?
I vote aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Urban.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
I vote aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Item 4 is under docket number 2012-404G, and there's a request for approval of Amendment 2 to a gas agreement for transportation service with firm gas standby between Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated and Republic Services Incorporated.
Is there a motion?
Chairman Williams, this is Commissioner Williams.
Commissioner Williams, you have the floor, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. I move that the commission approve Amendment 2 to the agreement for transportation service with firm gas standby between Dominion Energy, South Carolina Incorporated, and Republic Services Incorporated as being in the public interest. The 7-day requirement for filing with the commission and service of the Office of Regulatory Staff found in Commission Regulations 103-403D has been met.
All right, hearing Commissioner Williams's motion, is there any discussion? And Commissioner Williams, you sort of went in and out there. I'm going to ask, just so we're clear on your motion, if you wouldn't mind repeating your motion.
Okay. I move that the commission approve Amendment 2 to the agreement for transportation service with firm gas standby between Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated and Republic Services Incorporated as being in the public interest. The 7-day requirement for filing with the commission and service on the Office of Regulatory Staff found in Commission Regulation 103-403D has been met.
All right, hearing Commissioner Williams's motion again, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote, starting with District 1. Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Urban.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
I vote aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, other members of the commission, item 5 is a request of Duke Energy Progress LLC and Duke Energy Carolinas LLC. It's actually a motion to withdraw Heather Shirley Smith as counsel of record and substitute Samuel J. Wellborn as counsel of record in the following docket numbers: 2019-207E, 2019-208E, 2018-320E, 2011-158E. There's several in the year 2019. That's 2019-232A, 182E, 233A, 326E, 365E. Then in the year 2021, we have 220A, 221A, 263E, 264E, 265E, 66A, 89E, 90E, 197E, 225E, 226E. And there are several ND matters as well. ND 2020-28E, ND 2020-48E, ND 2021-12E, and ND 2021-20E.
Thank you, Attorney Butler. Is there a motion?
Chairman Williams,
Commissioner Williams, you have the floor, ma'am.
thank you. I move that the commission grant the Duke Energy Progress LLC and Duke Energy Carolinas LLC's motion to withdraw Heather Shirley Smith as counsel of record and substitute Samuel J. Wellborn as counsel of record in the dockets as listed by Mr. Butler.
Hearing Commissioner Williams's motion, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote, starting with District 1. Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Urban.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
I vote aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Item number 6, Mr. Chairman and other commissioners, is docket number 2021-88E, This is the avoided cost proceeding for Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated, and staff presents this for commission consideration for final disposition.
Is there a motion?
Chairman Williams, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Caston, you have the floor, sir.
Because there is sufficient support in the record, I move that the commission, one, approve that DSC continue using the difference in revenue requirements, DRR methodology, to calculate both the energy component and the capacity component of its avoided cost. DRR methodology is one of the generally accepted methods for calculating PERPA, avoided energy cost. It is used throughout the United States and has been previously approved by the Commission in order number 2016-97, 2018-322A, and 2019-847. Item 2, require DSC.
Chairman, excuse me for interrupting, but could we, if you're going to be more than one section, can we take them up separately? Because I think we need the opportunity to vote for some sections and perhaps not others.
All right. Commissioner Caston, are you willing to take items up separately?
I don't recall us doing that in the past. I mean, I'm not averse to reading the motion. Then if there's an issue with any of the items, could it not be addressed at that point in time?
It could be. Commissioner Urban, are you willing to hear Commissioner Caston out?
It's going to be, I understand a long motion with multiple sections. I just thought it would be easier for everyone to weigh in on each section. But however Commissioner Caston would like to handle it, I'll defer to his judgment.
I'm indifferent. If there's a motion to divide the question, I'll hear it. If you would rather finish your motion and then someone can raise a motion to divide the question, we could hear it then.
For the record, I'd like to move that we divide the question into sections, vote each section individually.
All right, there's a motion on the floor to divide the question. Is there any discussion? All right, hearing none. We'll vote on the motion to divide the question, starting with District 1, Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
No.
Commissioner Urban.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
I'm not voting on this matter as I didn't take part in the avoided cost proceeding for Dominion Energy South Carolina. The ayes have it. The motion passes. Commissioner Caston, if you would, take each matter individually.
Yes, sir. Do you want me to reread item 1?
Yes, sir. And we'll take each item separately.
Approve that DSC continue using the difference in revenue requirements, DRR methodology, to calculate both the energy component and the capacity component of its avoided cost. The DRR methodology is one of the generally accepted methods for calculating PERPA, avoided energy cost, is used throughout the United States and has been previously approved by this commission in orders numbers 2016-297, 2018-322A, and 2019-847.
All right. Hearing Commissioner Caston's motion on the first item, is there any discussion? Hearing no discussion, we'll vote, starting with District 1, Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
All right, the ayes have it. Item 1 passes.
Item 2, require DESC to correct the mismatch as identified by ORS witness Ori under the change case using the avoided capacity cost calculation as supported by ORS witness Hori and third-party consultant expert LEI.
Hearing Commissioner Caston's motion in item 2. Is there any discussion? Hearing no discussion, we'll vote, starting with District 1, Commissioner Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
I vote aye.
Item 2 passes with the ayes having it.
Item 3, approve 2 time periods as follows. The short-term period, May 2021 to April 2022, is used to establish avoided energy cost for PR1 rates and to establish avoided energy cost for standard offer rates. A long-term period, 2022 to 2031, is used, which is broken down into 2 5-year groupings, 2022 to 2026, 2027 to 2031.
Hearing Commissioner Caston's motion in item 3. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote, starting with District 1, Commissioner Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer,
Excuse me. Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
Item 3 passes.
Item 4, require that for the first 3 years, DESC should forecast natural gas prices using natural gas futures, NYMEX, MEX, and beyond 3 years, DES shall use Energy Information Administration Annual Energy Outlooks Reference Case for establishing longer-term gas prices.
Hearing Commissioner Caston's motion in item 4. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote with District 1, starting with District 1, Commissioner Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
Chairman Williams is not voting. The item passes.
Item 5, approve the 11 energy pricing periods for DESC's standard offer, non-solar, or sufficient for purposes of this proceeding.
Hearing Commissioner Caston's motion in item 5. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll start voting with Commissioner Williams from District 1,
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
No.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
The ayes have it. The item passes.
Item 6, approve the use of a technology-neutral approach for all resources as more appropriate. The Commission further approves the use of a single technology-neutral energy rate schedule, DESC's proposed non-solar QF energy rates, to be used in place of separate rates specific to standalone solar QFs.
Hearing Commissioner Caston's motion in item 6. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll start voting with District 1, Commissioner Williams,
I vote aye.
Vice Chair Belzer,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
The ayes have it. The item passes.
Item 7, adopt and adopt and approve the recommendations of ORS to shift the summer hours of 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. from the summer peak period to the summer off-peak period. This shift increases the average summer peak marginal cost and increases the accuracy of the time of use averages by 3% over the entire year. DES proposal has 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. peak period, but a review of DESC's 2022 hourly energy marginal cost shows that the average summer marginal cost between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. are significantly lower than the average cost for the other peak hours.
Hearing Commissioner Caston's motion in item 7, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote starting with District 1, Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Urban.
No.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
The ayes have it. The item passes.
Item 8, for avoided capacity cost, adopt and approve certain recommendations of LEI and interveners, ORS witness Horry and CCL SACE witness Cersei, specifically that that DESC should match the capacity change being assessed in the generating unit size, and that capital and fixed operating and maintenance cost may need to be adjusted upwards. The company is to provide updated rates. The Commission declines to adopt the proposed performance adjustment factor, PAF, of 1.05 by witness Cersei. The Commission further adopts CCL, SACE, witness Cersei's, and LEI's recommendation using data contained in the U.S. Energy Information Administration's Annual Energy Outlook, EIA's AEO, for the capital cost assumptions. LEI states that as the EIA's cost assumptions for an Aero CT addition are closest to the 100 megawatt being assessed, they serve as the best source for avoided capacity calculations. The Commission also adopts the use of a single avoided capacity rate as a resource's capability to deliver capacity when required should determine its payment regardless of technology type.
Hearing Commissioner Caston's motion in item 8, is there any discussion?
Mr. Chairman,
Vice Chair Belzer.
I wish to propose an amendment to this section.
Please propose your amendment.
I move to amend to strike the portion that says the Commission declines to adopt the proposed performance adjustment factor of 1.05 by witness Cersei, and strike that and instead insert that the Commission adopts the proposed performance adjustment factor of 1.05 proposed by witness Cersei.
Commissioner Caston, are you willing to make the requested amendment?
Certainly, we will vote on that particular amendment, correct?
I don't think it's a friendly amendment, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Yes, it's not a friendly amendment. We will vote on that amendment. Vice Chair Belzer, would you read your amendment again, please?
Yes, the only issue I had with what Commissioner Caston had proposed, he indicated in his motion that the Commission declines to adopt the performance adjustment factor proposed by witness Cersei. I move to strike that sentence and insert a sentence that states that the Commission adopts the proposed performance adjustment factor of 1.05 by witness Cersei.
All right. Hearing Vice Chair Belzer's amendment to Commissioner Caston's item 8, is there any discussion?
Chairman Williams,
Commissioner Williams, you have the floor, ma'am.
thank you. I just have a question because, I'm torn on this motion, and it was my understanding that PURPA, did not allow, the, impact the use of the performance adjustment factor. And I welcome either, Commissioner, Vice Chair Belzer or Commissioner Caston's, thoughts on that question.
Could you repeat the question?
Yes, I disagree with that position. How's that?
And clearly, I have another view, but that's life.
Vice Chair Belzer, I'm very persuadable if you want to add to your, disagreement comment.
Sure. I think that, Mom, I think that one party described this as artificial inflation. I don't agree with that assertion. I looked at the LEI recommendation, who characterized this as more of a adjustment to more accurate depiction of the cost for capacity. Also noted in the transcript when the LEI consultant testified before the commission, he indicated that the PAF is a way of making sure that the hourly payment is consistent with the avoided cost. And so that's where I'm coming down.
Commissioner Williams, do you need me to elaborate on mine, or is that sufficient?
Commissioner Williams, I think you may be on mute.
I am. Commissioner Caston, that's up to you.
I certainly respect differing views. I believe, the record does reflect at least the concern that I have that it does not, comply with FERC. And I also note that Consumer Affairs and ORS were also opposed to this. That's probably the extent of what I need to go into now, but this is my recommendation.
I call the question on item 8.
All right, the question has been called. Anything else before we vote? We'll start voting with District 1, Commissioner Williams.
For clarification, this is voting on Vice Chair Belzer's motion.
The amendment.
The amendment.
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
No.
Commissioner Urban.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas. Commissioner Thomas.
No.
Commissioner Powers.
No.
Okay, so split vote. The motion fails. All right. Commissioner Caston, are you ready to call the question on item 8?
Yes, sir. I do call the question on item 8.
All right. You all heard Commissioner Caston's motion on item 8. We'll start voting with District 1. Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
No.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
No.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
All right. The motion fails with a 4-2 vote. It passes. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm counting the wrong way. You should demand a recount. Item 8 passes with a 4-2 vote. Item 9.
Item 9, order DESC to make the following 2 corrections. I, correct the mismatch in DESC's methodology and assumptions for capital cost assumptions noted by ORS witness Horry and LEI to adjust the size of the capacity change down to 66 megawatts or the size of the generator up to 100 megawatt. II required DSC to correct and use 2022 as the reference year for the avoided cost calculations. DESC's calculations rely upon 2020 as the reference year, which results in an 18% underestimation of the avoided capacity cost.
All right, hearing Commissioner Caston's motion, item 9, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote, starting with District 1, Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Urban.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
Chairman Williams is not voting. Item 9 passes.
Item 10, adopt DES proposed seasonal allocation at this time. However, the Commission directs and orders DESC that going forward, DESC shall assess the value of summer capacity and the value of winter capacity, and DEC must provide more clarity and data substantiation on why it believes summer capacity has little to no value, as summer capacity should have value as well.
All right, item 10 has been read. Is there any discussion?
I'd like to point out a couple of things, if I might. In this instance, DESC's application fails the requirements of Act 62, which requires that in avoided cost rates, we have to incorporate specific findings for accuracy and accountability. We do not have sufficient data as to this item to make a determination. And the lack of transparency in the application did not give us the data. We've been asked to rely on unsubstantiated seasonal capacity allocations. And basically, I would oppose this provision because it's not supported by the testimony and evidence. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You're welcome, sir. Is there any further discussion?
Chairman Williams.
Commissioner Williams, you have the floor, ma'am.
Thank you. Commissioner Urban, I listened with interest and I wonder is there an alternative?
Yes, we could. Yes, Commissioner Williams. The alternative would be to reject the proposed seasonal allocation, which has been proposed by DESC, and require them to go back and fully disclose the underlying data and rationalization so that we can make an appropriate finding. But DESC has, in their IRP application, has already provided the commission with data that shows that they're gonna have a summer, capacity need within the next 10 years. So what they're asking us to do is inconsistent with their IRP, that we adopted. And furthermore, the testimony and evidence taken as a whole just simply doesn't support, ignoring, the summer peaks. Solar is being given no credit, for contributing to reducing summer peaks, and that's not fair to, QFs, and it's not supported by the evidence. So I would move that we reject, this particular item and ask the company to recalculate, the seasonal allocation, and also to provide the commission with the underlying data and inputs that they used in their, calculations to justify what they're asking for.
Any further discussion? All right, hearing none, we'll vote, starting with District 1. Commissioner Williams?
And just for clarification, this is on Commissioner Urban's amendment.
Commissioner Urban, did you offer, I thought you all were having a discussion. Commissioner Urban, did you offer an amendment?
Yes, I did. I offered an amendment to reject, this, motion by, Commissioner Caston and, deny the DESC's request, send it back to them for recalculation, and provide us underlying data that justifies their request, which they have not done.
Okay, it sounds like he just, Commissioner Urban, correct me if I'm wrong, it sounds like you're rejecting, you're opposing the motion in whole?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, we can just call the question on the motion.
Be fine. I'll be voting against it.
Yes, sir. Commissioner Caston?
I did want to clarify one thing. ORS, I believe, did support this also. So that's all I need to say. Let's call the
Question? Yes, sir. District 1, Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
I'm seeking clarification. So we are voting on the motion as proposed by Commissioner Caston?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
aye.
Commissioner Urban.
No?
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
Item 10 passes.
Item 11. The Commission believes that it must set a fixed VIC as part of this proceeding. Because of this legal requirement, the Commission adopts recommendations of ORS witness Horry and the independent third-party consulting expert LEI that DES proposed VIC for all trenches of $1.80 per megawatt hour is a reasonable value for all newly contracted resources over the next 2 years, and for existing contracts in Tranche 1, which previously used the interim VIC of 96 cents per megawatt hour with a true-up provision. For all new contracts in Tranche 2 and Tranche 3 using the $1.80 megawatt per hour VIC shall have a true-up provision. A fixed VIC provides certainty for solar project developers, and the Commission is concerned that continuing the interim VIC of 96 cents per megawatt hour is risking too much of an unknown cost and rate increase for the ratepayer.
All right, hearing Commissioner Caston's motion for item 11, is there any discussion?
Chairman Williams,
Commissioner Williams, you have the floor, ma'am.
thank you. Commissioner Caston, I heard you read that for all new contracts in tranche 2 or tranche 3 using $1.80 megawatt hour, Vic have a true up provision. But I also heard you start out by saying that the commission believes it must set a fixed VIC as part of this proceeding. Is what you're recommending, what your motion for tranche 2 and 3, a fixed VIC?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there any further discussion?
May I ask
Chairman,
Commissioner Caston a question, please?
Yes, sir. I think Commissioner Williams was not finished. Commissioner Williams?
I'm sorry, I'll defer to Mr.
No, Commissioner Irvin, that's on me. I think I cut her off.
Thank you. I actually want to just share some thoughts. And as we all know, this world is very imperfect. And in a perfect world, we would have a VIC study that was produced independently and with stakeholders' engagement and with transparent results. And it's my understanding, I wasn't here, but 2 years ago, the VIC had to be estimated and utilize the true-up provision, which we now understand to be something we don't have available to us as a tool. This time, the Dominion Energy did undertake a VIC study and on themselves, but we're still in the place where we need transparency and independence, and ideally a circumstance where it reflects statewide energy understanding. So my concern is that we don't have a pathway lined up to have those kind of results for our avoided costs determination that we're going to make in 2 years from now. And I just wanted to go on the record saying this because I will certainly be working with staff on the order to kind of reflect this longer term vision that meets the standards of our state statute. Thank you.
You're welcome, ma'am. Commissioner Urban.
Thanks, sir. Commissioner Caston, it's my recollection that both ORS witness Horry and our independent third-party consulting expert, LEI, recommended that we keep the interim VIC subject to true-up. Isn't that correct?
In their pre-file testimony, that was their recommendation. In questioning, when specifically asked if the commission determines that a fixed VIC is required, a statute, what do you recommend? Something to that effect, I'm paraphrasing. And both said $1.80 megawatt per hour.
Well, I specifically recall asking witness Horry what his ultimate and final recommendation was. And he responded that we should stick with the interim VIC subject to true up. And we needed to get a VIC study performed before we took any further action to further ensure that we had sufficient data to support any fixed VIC. So I believe the motion is contrary to the testimony and evidence. I'm going to be voting against it.
Any
Mr.
further?
Chairman,
Commissioner Thomas.
thank you. I just want to make sure that I understood the motion. And to begin with, I believe that a fixed VIC is required under South Carolina law. And I heard the $1.80 per megawatt hour. And I think I also heard true up in the same sentence. And to me, if you have a true up, then you don't have a fixed VIC. So I would like clarification on that, please.
Yes, sir. For tranche one, the $1.80, tranche 2 and 3, until a VIC study confirms what those should be also. The motion is that tranche 2 and 3 also be established at $1.80. And tranche 2 and 3 trued up or down once it is determined the value of that VIC. Does that help or clarify any?
Yes, but I still don't think that gives us a fixed VIC, which I think we have to have. And furthermore, I think that the timing involved in getting this independent study is going to be so far out into the future. It could be 2 years from now, which would be time again for us to go through the avoided cost proceeding. So I think that the true up should be eliminated at this time. I don't think we're going to have a number in time to do a true up, and I don't think that's allowed under South Carolina law.
Chairman Williams?
Commissioner Williams.
I agree with Commissioner Thomas and wonder if Commissioner Caston would take a friendly amendment to just eliminate the sentence that he read that said for all new contracts in tranche 1 or 2 using, well, I think it would need to say all new contracts in tranche 1 or tranche 3. Sorry, all new contracts in tranche 2 or tranche 3 shall use the $1.80 megawatt hour VIC.
Any port in a storm, Commissioner Williams, but would you mind repeating that a little more loudly? I couldn't hear it all.
Okay. All new contracts in tranche 2 or tranche 3 shall use the $1.80 per megawatt hour VIC.
Mr. Chairman, it's obvious that the commission is confused with this motion. It's not clear what we're voting on. And I would move that we determine this matter in a formal written order to follow, since we don't really know what we're voting on. I'm certain that witness Ori said in his testimony that he wanted to stay with the interim VIC. That was his consistent position. That was also the position of LEI. And I move that we skip over this item, take it up in a formal written order to follow, once we've had a chance to study it further.
Understood, Commissioner Irvin. We have a motion on a friendly amendment that Commissioner Caston is considering.
I will accept your friendly amendment, Commissioner Williams.
Thank you.
All right.
May I ask a question?
Vice Chair Belzer.
So the effect of that friendly amendment would be that the VIC would be $1.80 per megawatt hour. There wouldn't be any need to have tranche 1, tranche 2, and tranche 3, would it? Well, tranche 2 and tranche 3, so it's just set at $1.80.
That is what you were asking, correct, Commissioner Williams?
Yes. Oh.
yes, I'm less clear about the role of tranche 2 versus tranche 3.
Okay, well, so this is where we are. Commissioner Caston accepted the friendly amendment. Commissioner Urban made a motion that this matter be taken up in the final written order. With the friendly amendment taken, we go to Commissioner Urban's motion that this matter be taken up in the final written order. We'll vote starting with District 1 on Commissioner Urban's motion. We'll vote starting with District 1, Commissioner Williams.
For clarity, a vote to support Commissioner Urban's motion would not constrict.
No, it would give us an opportunity, to go back and review the record and see what, in fact, the record would support. I believe that we're now so confused about what we're voting on that we need more time. And so that's the purpose of my motion, to carry it over. We'll deal with it in the final order.
I'm going to vote aye because of the confusion about the impact to tranche 2 and 3. So aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams voted aye on Commissioner Urban's motion. Right, Commissioner Williams?
Correct.
All right, Vice Chair Belzer.
I vote no.
Commissioner Caston.
No.
Commissioner Urban.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
No.
Commissioner Powers.
No.
All right, the motion fails. So, Commissioner Urban accepted Commissioner Williams's friendly amendment. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none.
That would be Commissioner Caston, I believe, accepting the friendly amendment.
Yes, sir. Excuse me. Commissioner Caston accepted Commissioner Williams' friendly amendment.
Thank you.
Is there any further discussion on Commissioner Caston's item 11? All right, hearing none, we'll vote starting with District 1, Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Urban.
No.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Item 11 passes.
Item 12. With regard to the SSVM, adopt DESC's proposed mitigation protocol and SSVM calculation with the incorporation of the modifications by DES witness Bell noted in his rebuttal testimony. These modifications include calculating solar QF production variability relative to forecast rather than actual, as well as allowing solar owners to aggregate production data from across the QFs that they own. The Commission believes comparing to forecast is a reasonable approach, and the established tranches allow a degree of latitude in terms of facility operations. DESC's proposed SSVM mitigation protocol require QFs to install a revenue quality meter, the integration meter, capable of recording 5-minute energy production data for the facility's AC production. However, the Commission adopts and orders that QF shall continue to use standard production meter for recording QF generation as required under the standard offer form PPA. If DSC has a problem with the necessary data collection, the company shall present the matter for consideration by the Commission.
Hearing Commissioner Caston's Item 12, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote, starting with District 1, Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
No.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Item 12 passes.
Item 13. Adopt DESC's recommendation to maintain the current requirement that QF submit the SSVM spreadsheet to DESC within 2 business days of the month's end.
Hearing Commissioner Caston's item 13, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote, starting with District 1, Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Item 13 passes.
Item 14. Reject the DESC's proposed 2-strike disqualification provision. The proposed 2-strike disqualification provision could potentially harm customers in the sense that any QFs that are disqualified from eligibility from the mitigation protocol and hence are not able to reduce their monthly VIC would no longer be incentivized to avoid unexpected variations in output.
Hearing Commissioner Caston's item 14, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote, starting with District 1. Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
Item 14 passes.
Item 15, with regard to the standard offer form PPA, adopt the following changes. A, order that DESC shall continue to allow cash collateral as an option for providing performance assurance. B, order that DESC must amend the proposed form PPA amended to reference the 20-day requirement for delivery of the insurance certificate. C, order that DESC shall maintain the insurance coverage amounts in the standard offer PPA be maintained at current levels, and that the proposed higher coverage amounts shall apply only for the form PPA used with QFs of more than 20 megawatts. D, order that DESC shall maintain the existing form of surety bonds by adopting the testimony of witness Levitas and rejecting the proposed changes of DESC. And E, reject the proposal in DESC's PPA to require the QF to convey ancillary services to DESC at no additional cost in order DESC to remove the language in the PPA purporting to give DESC ancillary services for free.
Hearing Commissioner Caston's item 15, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote, starting with District 1, Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
Item 15 passes.
Item 16, with regard to the notice of commitment form, reject all proposed changes by DESC. The Commission further orders that DESC shall keep and maintain the existing NOC form, except with regard to one and only one change, adopting and incorporating the recommendation raised by SECEBA witness Levitas to the termination clause of the NOC. There are no other changes to the NOC.
Hearing Commissioner Caston's item 16, is there any discussion? Hearing no discussion, we'll vote, starting with District 1, Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
I vote no on this item.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Urban,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Item seven, we're on 16.
Item 17.
17. Item 17 passes.
No, that was.
Oh, 16.
Oh, that was item 16.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Item 16 passes.
Item 17. With regard to the standard for transparency required by South Carolina Code Section 58-41-20J, further order and direct DSC be required to provide a more thorough and detailed application. These proceedings are complex, and parties need to have full disclosure and adequate time for review. Given the time constraints and resource limitations that are inherent in complex proceedings such as avoided cost, in the future, utilities are required to include in their avoided cost application information adequate to ensure the underlying assumptions, data, and results are available to the parties and the Commission as required by the statute. The Commission specifically requires that DSC file the following information at a minimum in its next avoided cost proceeding and in all future avoided cost proceedings. All production cost modeling inputs and outputs, including fuel prices, variable O&M, generating unit operating parameters, load forecast, hourly avoided cost outputs, and system dispatch data. Quantitative analysis and methodologies with all inputs and outputs for designating pricing periods. Resource expansion plans assumed for both avoided energy and avoided capacity calculations. Resource adequacy analysis with all data inputs and outputs used to develop avoided capacity rates. All work papers used to calculate avoided energy and capacity rates from underlying production cost and capital modeling, cost modeling.
Hearing Commissioner Caston's item 17, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote, starting with District 1. Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Urban.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Item 17 passes.
Sadly, this is the last item. Item 18. I further move that the Commission prepare a full order based upon this motion, which shall provide further detail. I so move.
All right. Any discussion on item?
Chairman. Yes, sir. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to note for the record that I reserve the right to file a dissenting opinion. And so I'll be voting against this, item 18.
All right.
Amplify the reasons in a detailed dissent be filed with the original order. Thank you.
No problem, sir. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote, starting with District 1. Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Urban. Commissioner Urban votes no.
Sure, I'm all right to file a dissent. Cover this item, so I'm standing for the authority consideration, but I'm pick the dissent as well. Some of my fellow commissioners would consider as well.
Commissioner Urban, if you could say that again, sir.
Yeah, with the I don't think we need a vote. Right. You know, it goes without saying that there's going to be a formal red door. I just want the record to be clear. I'm not supporting everything the commissioner has said. I'm going to file a separate dissenting opinion based on our review of the testimony that finding some fire.
Commissioner Urban, unfortunately, we are unable to hear you clearly.
Record reflecting on vote no.
Did you pick that up? All right, I think what we heard is that you're voting no on item 18. All right. Are you good? Okay. Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Item 18 passes. Commissioner Caston, does that conclude the items in your motion on item 6 of the business agenda?
Yes, sir, it does. Thank you.
All right. Note for the record that all items passed, 1 through 18, in Commissioner Caston's motion for item 6 on this week's business agenda. Next item, please.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, other members of the commission. Item number 7 is in docket number 2019-290-WS. We have a request of the parties in this docket for an additional 30 days from the day of the order to provide an additional update on settlement discussions on the remanded issues from the last Blue Granite rate case.
Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Powers.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would move that the commission grant the request of the parties in this docket an additional 30 days from the date of the order to provide an additional update on settlement discussions on the remanded issues from the last Blue Granite rate case. The new date would be December 17, 2021. If a settlement has not been reached prior to this date, ORS, Blue Granite, and Department of Consumer Affairs have stated that they believe agreement on appropriate rate-making treatment of the remanded issues from the rate case is likely achievable, and they will continue to pursue agreement as well as to seek to ensure that all parties interested are given an opportunity to provide review and input prior to final agreement. I believe this request for additional time is reasonable and that it will provide additional time for settlement discussions among the parties. For this reason, I move that the request for additional time prior to the next update by the parties be granted.
Hearing Commissioner Powers' motion, is there any discussion?
Chairman Williams,
Commissioner Caston.
previously I have recused myself of votes regarding Blue Granite. I will continue that on this out of an abundance of caution and look forward to hopefully adjudicating future ones.
Noted. Thank you, Commissioner Caston. Any further discussion? We'll start voting with District 1, Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Urban. Commissioner Urban indicates with a thumbs up that he's voting aye. Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
I vote aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, other members of the commission, we also have number 8, docket number 2021-349E. There's a request that the commission deny an allowable ex parte by Duke filed on behalf of Google LLC.
Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Vice Chair Belzer.
I move that we carry this item over until the special meeting on Thursday morning. I noted that there was additional information filed today that I don't know that all the commissioners are aware of, and I think that we can just take up everything in this docket on Thursday.
All right. Hearing Vice Chair Belzer's motion to carry over item 8. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll start voting with District 1, Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Urban. Commissioner Urban votes aye by signifying so with a thumbs up on the live stream. Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
I vote aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, other members of the commission, this does complete the utilities agenda for today. Moving on to our motor carrier agenda. The first item is docket number 2021-350T. We have an application of USA Limo LLC DBA Greenville Black Car Service for a Class C charter certificate.
Is there a motion?
Chairman Williams would like to make a motion.
Commissioner Caston, you have the floor, sir.
I move that the commission approve the application of USA Limo LLC doing business as Greenville Black Car Service for a Class C charter certificate.
Hearing Commissioner Caston's motion, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote, starting with District 1, Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Urban. Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye, and again, for the record, Commissioner Urban signified that he voted aye by raising his thumb upwards to the sky.
Yes, sir. Item number 2 on the motor carrier agenda is under docket number 2014-337T. We have the request of Buford Tours LLC for an extension of time until December 31st, 2021 to comply with commission rules and regulations.
Is there a motion?
Chairman Williams.
Commissioner Caston, you have the floor, sir.
I move that the commission grant the request of Buford Tours LLC for an extension of time until December 31st, 2021 to comply with commission rules and regulations.
Hearing Commissioner Caston's motion, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote, starting with District 1. Commissioner Williams.
I vote aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Urban. Commissioner Urban votes aye by signifying so with a thumbs up. Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Item number 3 is under docket number 2011-312-T. We have a request of Carolina Moving Solutions LLC to amend the name on its Class E household goods certificate number 9790-A to read Unity Partners LLC DBA Carolina Moving Solutions.
Is there a motion?
Chairman Williams.
Commissioner Caston, you have the floor, sir.
I move that the commission grant the request of Carolina Moving Solutions LLC to amend the name of its Class E household goods certificate number 9790-A to read Unity Partners LLC doing business as Carolina Moving Solutions.
Hearing Commissioner Caston's motion, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote, starting with District 1, Commissioner Williams.
I vote aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Urban. Commissioner Urban votes aye by signifying the thumbs up. Commissioner Thomas. Commissioner Thomas. It looks as if we've lost Commissioner Thomas. We'll come back to him. Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas. Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries. Item number 4 is under docket number 2021-346T. We have a request of Kelly Moving Incorporated for waiver of publication in a hearing regarding its application to amend its tariff.
Is there a motion?
Chairman Williams.
Commissioner Williams, you have the floor, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. I move that the commission grant the request of Kelly Moving, Inc. for waiver of publication and hearing regarding the application to amend its tariff.
Hearing Commissioner Williams' motion, is there any discussion?
Mr. Chairman,
Vice Chair Belzer.
I just want clarification that we are only waiving the publication of notice and hearing. We are not approving the tariff at this time. Is that correct?
That is my understanding, Commissioner Belzer.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll start voting with District 1, Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Urban. Commissioner Urban votes aye by the thumbs up. Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, that completes the motor carriers agenda and indeed all the agendas before the commission for business today.
Thank you, sir. We are adjourned.